There is nothing quite like an afternoon out on the high seas. You've got your sunblock and life jacket, but what is protecting your vessel as you sail the open water? Let's talk about that. Hi there, it's Natallia with Berry Insurance. Did you know that there are roughly 4,000 boating accidents in the US annually, costing around $39 million in damage? With those kinds of numbers, making sure you have coverage on your boat is not something you should skip out on. That's where Watercraft insurance comes in. Here at Berry Insurance, we've helped our watercraft riding clients return to their smooth sailing attitudes with Watercraft insurance coverage. So in this video, you will learn: what is watercraft insurance? The types of watercraft insurance. What watercraft insurance covers and doesn't cover. Who needs watercraft coverage? How much watercraft coverage you need. How much watercraft coverage costs. Let's dive in. What is watercraft insurance? Watercraft insurance is a personal insurance policy that provides coverage for various boats and watercraft such as fishing boats, dinghy boats, deck boats, catamarans, sailboats, houseboats, pontoons, yachts, jet skis, and more. In certain cases, based on the size and value of a boat, a homeowner's policy will cover the boat, but these are very rare cases. Without proper watercraft insurance, you would be stuck with a large out-of-pocket cost for damages to your boat, damages your boat may have caused, or any injury liability. There are several types of watercraft insurance depending on what kind of watercraft you have and your specific coverage needs. Depending on those needs, you may need a few of the following coverages. Some types of watercraft insurance include: a hull coverage covers damages to your boat. Third-party liability insurance covers property damage your boat causes and damage caused from fuel spills, towing, medical expenses, and rescue operations. All risk insurance covers ice damage, freezing, pollution liability, reef damage liability, and mechanical breakdown. Actual cash value insurance covers the actual cash value of your boat or an agreed value predetermined when you buy your policy. Yacht insurance covers boats that are 27 feet or larger. What does watercraft insurance cover? Before you get out there to set sail, you will want to know exactly what is and is not covered by your watercraft insurance policy. What is typically covered? Damage to market value of the boat. Damage to your or another boat will be covered up to the market value of the boat. Damage that occurs in waterways, rivers, lakes, and ocean waters within a certain number of miles from shore. As long as you aren't too far from shore, accidents in many bodies of water are usually covered. Towing. If you can't get the boat running, insurance will pay for it to be towed to shore, up to your policy limits. Wreckage removal. If boat wreckage needs to be removed from the water, insurance will pay for that, up to your policy limits. Fuel spill indemnification. If you cause a fuel spill, your policy will pay for the damages and legal liability up to your policy limits. Injury liability. Your policy covers defense costs and settlements if you cause injury to others. Medical payments to others. Your policy will cover medical costs if you were to injure someone in an accident. What is typically not covered? Certain watercraft of a smaller size of value. Insurance companies each have their own limits, but often will not cover small, lower value watercraft. Boats in transit from home to water. Unfortunately, if your boat is outside the water, it will not be covered. Boats out during the time your policy indicates it's in storage. Your insurance company will ask you to designate when your boat will be in use and where it will be stored. So if it is damaged during the time you said it would be stored, insurance will not cover it. Damage that occurs in certain geographic areas. Watercraft insurance does not cover damages that occur after a certain distance offshore. The distance varies carrier to carrier, so be sure to check with your agent. Damage from negligence or lack of boat maintenance. Natural wear and tear is expected with boats. You must properly maintain your boat because insurance will not cover wear and tear damages. Who needs watercraft insurance? Watercraft insurance is not a required coverage, at least not in Massachusetts. However, there are several reasons you may need it. One simple reason you may need it is if you finance your boat, the lender will most likely require you to have watercraft insurance. The same can be said if you keep your boat at a marina. If neither one of those situations applies to you, you can choose whether you want to buy watercraft insurance or not, but we always recommend it as the protection is always worth it over the potential out-of-pocket costs. While it is true that homeowners insurance may offer some coverage for your watercraft, it likely will not cover the whole value. If you have an expensive boat or would not be able to handle an expensive out-of-pocket cost, then you should absolutely get watercraft insurance. Your homeowner's policy will also not cover things like fuel spills, which can cost thousands of dollars and would be covered by watercraft insurance. Even if your boat is inexpensive, has depreciated significantly, or you feel comfortable with repair costs, we would still recommend watercraft insurance to cover yourself against any possible liability accidents. How much watercraft coverage do I need? Each coverage of your policy will only pay up to certain limits, which you get to choose. These limits can vary based on a person's needs, but we do have some general recommendations. For the personal liability portion of your policy, we usually recommend at least $500,000 worth of coverage. If you have a personal umbrella liability insurance policy, you will likely be required to have this amount. Both accidents and potential subsequent lawsuits can be costly, so you'll want to make sure you're more than just partially covered. Hull coverage, which covers damage to your boat, should at least be equal to the market value of your boat, but you may want to consider adding more to cover a trailer or the motor. Limits on other areas such as towing, wreckage removal, and fuel spill indemnification are all up to you based on how much coverage you want and how much risk you'd like to take. However, we always recommend talking to your insurance agent to help determine the best limits for your situation. How much does watercraft insurance cost? The cost of boat insurance varies depending on the type of boat, the age of the watercraft, the value, size, speed or horsepower, condition, location of operation, storage or docking location, operators of the watercraft, accident or violations history, coverage choices, and discount eligibility. However, you can expect your annual premium to be about 1 to 2% of your boat's market value. Being out on the water is supposed to be fun and relaxing, but accidents do happen. And the last thing you want is to have an unexpected situation become an unmanageable expense. If you have any kind of watercraft, you should get a comprehensive watercraft insurance policy to cover damages and injuries. If you have specific questions, you should always reach out to your insurance agent so you can return to calmer waters with a proper policy. If you have any other questions, you should click the link in the description to check out our Learning Center. We have videos and articles on watercraft insurance, as well as information on all types of insurance. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our YouTube channel. We make videos just like this one every week to help educate people like you about insurance. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.